Good afternoon. My name is Arturo Blot, and I'm the technical manager of Teco Europe. And this afternoon, we're going to make a webinar in the GoTime Cloud solution for time and attendance. As you can see in this screen, the GoTime Cloud is a time and attendance solution, cloud-based. What is a cloud-based time and attendance solution? Well, it's a solution that does not require an installation of any kind into a server or whatever. So it is licensed as a software as a service. So when any of your customers are interested in this solution, they will have an address, an URL to access their own server, their own part of the solution, which they will be able to register the employees and connect the terminals. The terminals will register all the modifications that are done in the software automatically in a seamless way. That it won't need any kind of manual synchronization of the terminals, and also the punches, the attendance logs registered in the terminals will automatically be sent to the software, to the solution. As you can see, it is a very good solution to have with installation or a solution that needs to be set up for multiple sites, multiple locations. That is because how the terminals are connected to the software do not require, so the software does not require to know where the terminal is located, but it's the terminal which is the one that needs to be pointing to the server, to our own server, to register the punches. Also, as you can see, we have the terminals in any place of the world, and also we have an app which is more like a responsive website, and also can be accessed by website. As you can see in this screenshot, well, in this screen that I have currently, well, we have more or less all the parts of the software that are available to the user. Well, also personal information. You can create an organization structure of your company. You can manage all kinds of shifts. Well, we will see now a little bit of what are the possibilities. What are the possibilities to make the configuration of the shifts of the employee, and this will let us know any kind of delays when the employees need to come to work. And also, we have the overtime management. We will see that we have several ways to control the overtime. Well, and holiday calendar. That is why, one good thing about this holiday calendar is because also the software includes basic job costing functionalities. What does that mean? With the terminals, as you may know, that if you have used Teco terminals, it's possible to configure events, attendance events into the function keys of the terminal. This can be used, as we will see, as an accrual of the time spent in these function keys. No? So we can use a little bit of this as a simple, very simple, really, but it may be useful for many of you. Job costing solution. Also, as you can see, it's a holiday calendar. It makes the software can be used as a personal portal. No, so the employees will have possibility to access the software in order to register a manual punch or ask for any time of paid leave, which we will see in a moment. No? Which we will see in a moment. Well, from the app, from the website in our mobiles, the employee will have the opportunity to see the balance of the leave, so how many days I have off, or how many days I have spent. Also, I have the chance to register a punch from the website, and these punches, this attendance log, are always tracked. Can be GPS tracked, can be localized. No, that's the word, geolocalized. Also, as you can see, as it says, the request approvals, that is in combination with the holiday calendars. So maybe if some employee has forgot to punch in the device, or has forgot, or is outside of the office, they can punch from the mobile application, from the website, and this punch, or another thing, maybe they request a day off, no, for paid leave of the employee. Then an administrator or a supervisor of this employee will need to accept this request, no, and accept this request. No, it is not moving. The slide is not running. It's not moving. It's not running. It's the same. It's the same screen. Now I'm going to change this. It's only 2 screens. So you'll see now is the other screen. This is a very small solution. But this is just a, it's a summary of what I already said. Does not need the installation of the software, and this is important. The software is compatible with iClock 560 and 660s and the ZPad Plus device. What is the reason of that? As I said, the communication between the terminals and the software it goes from the terminal to the software. So the device needs to support push protocol, which is a protocol of communication that is HTTP based. So it is compatible and with any all operating systems. That's why it can go to a cloud solution like this. And currently, the only compatible terminals are the iClock 560, the 680s, and the ZPad Plus. Well, also it's developed entirely in ZK Europe, so it caters to any, or mostly European customers. Solution, how it's presented, how it's managed, it's consistent with how in Europe we understand time and attendance. As I said, it's licensed by a software as a service model. So you will, if you want to ask for, you are interested, and you will have to ask for the maximum of employees that you will need to have in the solution. Also, the database is stored in Amazon Web Services, so that makes it is a secure platform, as you may know. Amazon Web Services is one of the top systems of web servers in the world, so that's a plus. And also, as I said already, it's a mobile access that you can access the server of the system with a responsive website, and all punches that are done with the mobile can be geo-localized. So we will know, and we will see now in an example how this is seen in the software. Well, this is about all the presentation, all the PowerPoint, because I think they are a little bit boring. So we're gonna start playing with the software. Okay, this is running. I have it running in a virtual machine. So if it doesn't go as quick as maybe the changing of the screens, you can say that it's because of the of the virtual machine. Well, as you can see, we have here a demo URL to access GoTime Cloud. This URL is open to anybody who wants to check the solution, to check the functionalities, or to check how to, if something is possible, if you want to show it to one of your customers, you always have the chance to access this website and make any kinds of changes that you want. Also, well, this URL is demo.yourtimecheck.com access is restored every week, I think, or every 2 weeks. So you can do anything you want. So everything is is deleted after 2 weeks, and it goes back to a demo version of the employees. So here we have the selector of the language. Currently, we only have 3 languages implemented, but we are in the process of adding mostly all European languages: German, French, English, Turkish, and any other language that it's needed to be added can be done fairly quick, because, as I said, the development is done in our offices in Madrid. So I'm leaving it in English so everybody can see. And we're going to access the server. The username is admin, and the password is 1234. Easy. Okay, let's press enter. Why is not? Maybe it's because I have to restore. One moment. It was left for too long. So as you can see here, this is the main screen of the administrator user. As you can see here, well, it's a dashboard of the latest captured bunches and also the latest petitions received. We will see now in a moment the petitions that we have and how are they used. And this is used, as I said, for the employee portal side of the software. And well, without more delay, we are going to start with the configuration of a simple but functional time and attendance solution for a company. You know? And what we need to know about the time and attendance solution in GoTime Cloud must be that what we need to do first is to create the organization structure of our company, which is configured by a department and a center. And we need to configure most importantly, the shifts or work days, as it's called in the software, and the calendar. Once we have these 3 things already configured, which I mean the organization, how is the organization of the company, the work days and the calendars, we will be able to start creating the employees, because we will need these functions in order to be able to register the employees. So, well, currently this, I suppose, as I said, someone modified, well, it comes in Spanish, empresa, which is how they can use, because, well, we have the opportunity, the chance, and the preference to change. We are going to change the text of this, so it's more easy. So we can go to the center and we can also change it for whatever we need in the company. And we have already changed it. Then we have already here the change of the names, and we're going to start to configure the workday. What is a workday? A workday is how long do our employees need to go to work each day? What does that mean? So maybe we have a workday that is different from Mondays to Thursdays, and another one for Fridays, and maybe you have a summer workday that makes 3 workdays in total. As you can see, this is a demo version that is everybody plays with it, and everybody has tried to make all kinds of workdays. And we're going to create a new one, so we see what are the options that we. So as you can see here this is the code. The first thing we need to input is the code. Code whatever 5555 doesn't matter, and the description of the work. One workday, and here we have the options that we can select. But I'm not going to focus on all of the functions of the software. Okay, in this meeting. Firstly, and most importantly, is because it would make this webinar not 1 hour long, but maybe 5 hours long. I think it's a little bit too much. Of course, we are open, Execo, to any kind of needs that you may have about the software. We will make more webinars. We can create a more specific webinar or more specific training course for any of your employees. Of course, we are open to this one. We are going to show you. No, so we're going to just explain a little bit of the functions, so you can well, you can have mostly an overview of what can be done. Okay, so as you see, we have day shifts, night shifts, and rotation shifts. The day shifts are a day shift normal to the office, and the difference between day shifts and night shifts is mostly the limits of the workday. Day shift is a work day that starts and ends on the same day. So it doesn't finish after 12 o'clock at night. A night shift is a shift, on the contrary of the last one, is a shift that starts one day and ends the next day. For example, maybe a factory that has several shifts, morning shift, an afternoon shift, a night shift. Maybe the night shift starts at 10 o'clock at night, ends at 6 o'clock in the morning. This would be a night shift. Another thing, a shift that starts, for example, at 1 o'clock in the morning and ends at 9 o'clock in the morning also, it wouldn't be a night shift because it does not include a change in there. Mostly the difference which we need to take care of when we select day shifts and night shifts are the limits of the workdays. In day shifts, as you say, the workdays are as they are by default, from 000 to 23:59. So all the punches that are contained between 12 o'clock and 11:59 next day, or next night, are contained in this workday. If we change it to a night shift, we need to change the workday limits. For example, maybe, or example, a restaurant that I don't know, maybe closes at 1 o'clock at night and opens at, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. Then maybe we can select the workday to start at 8 and finish at 7:59. So why is that? That is done really mostly because we want that the first punch of the day, it is not the one that is done at 1 o'clock at night. That would happen if we didn't change the workday limits. You understand? Or not, we will go back to there later. Leave it as it was. And here we have start entry, end entry, and session start, and the same for the exit. Also, we have a possibility of configuring a first session and a second session in a workday. What is that difference? In some companies, mostly this happens, I suppose, in Spain. The writings are too small. I cannot read properly. Okay, let me maybe better like this, no? I suppose yes. Of course, you can zoom with the set. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, what I was saying. What I did is to zoom the screen, control and scroll. No? Also, we can do this. The same. The only thing that we need to, because as you see now, the buttons here are a little bit gone off the screen, but that doesn't matter. We'll modify to press on OK. That's it. Well, as I was saying, we have a start entry and end entry and session start, and the start exit, end exit, and session exit. Well, sorry. What I was saying before this small break is that we have the possibility of configuring a first session and a second session. As I said, in Spain, it is quite normal in the companies to have a break for all the employees between the morning time and afternoon time, and the people maybe go home to have lunch or whatever. No? As I said, this division between first session and second session would let us control delays in how when the employee start working in 2 times in a day. If you don't need this, you can use really first session and put all the shifts there. You can also do that. So here, as you see, we have, as I said, three times: start, end, and session start. And here we have the same for the exit. Really, the time when the shift starts, I'm going to put here at 9, at 6 o'clock. But we have a time, we can set up a time in which it will not be registered as a delay, as a late entry, or as an early entry if the employee punches the device between, I don't know, maybe 8:50 till 9:10, no? Maybe the traffic, maybe the employee starts a little bit closer, 9:02, and I don't want to make this employee has a delay, has a late entry in the reports, no? Because we understand that this is possible, maybe it doesn't matter for us. Or yes, we can set it less time, more time. That is what also this would be used also as the same to set up flexible time shifts, no? A flexible time shift would be a time in which I don't want to be very, or for me, it's not that important when do the employees start working, but I want them to make maybe 8 hours a day, and maybe they can start from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. No? Then what we can do is to put these limits, this start entry and end entry longer, no? bigger limits in the side. So the software will not register delay when the employee comes into this time. No? Then the same what can be done for the exit. No, we're going to do the same. Don't want to complicate it too much. Then and a total first session hours is going to be 8 hours. Well, as you notice, from 9 till 6 there are no 8 hours. There are 9. So I'm implying that this workday, this time shift, will have a break in the middle, no, for lunch of 1 hour. Right? And configure it or not, depends on whatever we need. Also, also added to this functionality, we have the functionality of variants. This is a very interesting functionality, which will let us, as I said before, it's quite common. I don't know, some companies, some of them don't, that have maybe a workday from Monday to Thursday, and then Fridays they can leave early. They leave early in the day, no? So they compensate the time that they don't work on Fridays on the rest of the week. No? At least this is how it is here. So this what we would do is to create as many workdays. For example, if we have, as I said, one workday from Monday to Thursday and another one in a Friday, what we would do is to create the two workdays and set the Friday workday as a variant of the Monday to Thursday workday. That's what we would do, and the software will know which is the correct workday for the employee if we select this check, which is always search for the next variant. What this means is that depending on the punches done in the devices, then the software will know which is the correct workday for that employee in that day. That's in order to register the employee has come early, has come late, or has done the total of hours that needs to do. We will do this here add, and we select another workday, which here, as you can see, we have all the workdays that I have registered in the system. Also, we can put the night shifts here. So maybe employee in a factory, then they need to have the workday, well, maybe a day workday, and then variants would be the afternoon workday and the night workday. Also, it is possible, as we would see afterwards, to set for each day which is the correct workday in the calendar of the employee. This can already be done, but well, as it is usually this kind of softwares or this management, it is done by people in a human resources departments or administrative departments, and maybe the employees change between them the shifts. The one, okay, I go in the night and you come in the morning, and they return you I return you the work day and another day or whatever, no, and we will only be able, the company will only be able to control this if it has a person dedicated to this function. Okay, it depends on how we want to make these controls. Usually, maybe it's not needed. Then we would configure the workdays like this, as I said, with all possible workdays in a company, and then setting the variance of the one of the variants to the other. The only thing that we need to be careful with this is that don't set the work days like in a loop. No, so don't set one day one shift as a variant of the other one, and the other one as a variant of the previous one. So don't do that, because this can get to problems. So we need to know that. Also, here we have the possibility of registering payrolls. Usually what we think in payrolls is costs, no? It's how much do I need to pay my company, my employees, depending on the punches. It is true, it can be used like this. But also this, I want you to know that is what the true meaning of the payrolls is a division of the time worked, no? Of the hours. It is a good way of controlling the amount of work hours, if there's overtime or not. There are other ways to do this control, but payrolls is a good way, because what we can do is that, okay, the first 8 hours of work time of the employee, I will set them as normal hours, and then the rest of the hours that the employee has worked, we can set it. Okay, the first hour is going to be overtime level 1. The next hours will be overtime level 2, and then if it works on a Saturday, on a Sunday, then it's overtime level 3. Okay, the functionality will let us like select a cost for each type of hour, but it is not needed really. But I don't want you to think it like that, like as a cost. Think it more like a division of hours, division of time worked, and a very efficient way to control the overtime done by an employee. Okay, that's it. I'm not going well, another thing, just the last thing about payrolls, I don't want to focus much on payrolls, because we could do another webinar of more time just to talk about payrolls, which, if you need it, of course, we will do it. Right? That's absolutely no problem, as I said. But the last thing is that we can compensate this time work. Okay, for example, have Monday, I have worked 2 hours extra hours, but maybe Tuesday, I leave 2 hours early. Then what would be the point of paying or having 2 extra hours in my counting of hours? No, it needs to be a compensation. Okay, this Monday you came 2 hours more, but Tuesday you left 2 hours earlier. No, so you don't need to have this. You don't have 2 extra hours this week. This compensation can be done daily, weekly, monthly, and annually. So it is a good way to control work hours, extra hours in a company. Here, as I said, well, we can set the workday break, and here in this screen, I don't want to go much. No, also we have the maximum and minimum times. No, we can control events. We can control events. I want to think you an event as a reason for a punch, a reason for an attendance log. We can do is to say, okay, I give you my employees 15 minutes total of a breakfast, which is given to the employees. They don't need to return this time to the company. Okay, we can control this event, set 15 minutes of total time, and then if the employee passes at that time or exceeds this time, then this time I want them to return to the company, or else the system will say that this person has not worked. Okay, it's a possibility that can be done. Also here is the workday break, which we will go in a minute. We will see in a minute when we go to the employees. We'll see how it works. Also, as I said, here we have can enable obligatory, mandatory time slots, which is a way for maybe for flexible time shifts to set time slots, so periods of time in which I want that my employees are at work. What does that mean? For example, okay, I let my employees start from 8 till 10, but I want 10:30 or 8, or I don't say, oh, good thing about, I don't set a time in which my employees can start, but I want that people are in the workplace at 12 p.m. Why? Because this is the time in which I have more work than the rest of the day. Then we will set enough of mandatory time slots. We set in an event, which are here in Spanish. I have not translated it. But what work, breakfast, medic, smoke, holidays, a little bit, and event to update. And from this time to that time, I want them to be in the place. Okay. Also here, I have the roundings of the workday. As before, I said we have the start entry and end entry, which are like how would I say, like a courtesy time for the employee. A rounding is a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive, no? So because what we will do is to change the time of the punch when it's in work days. From that time to that time, we would round the punch to a specific time. Okay, that's what a rounding would be. That is a rounding. So if for example, if I said, okay, I said before, okay, from 8:50 till 9:10, then the rounding would be. Okay. So any punches that are registered between 8:50 and 9:10 would be rounded to 900. Okay, this is quite useful also because, okay, if I do it like this, as I said, with the courtesy time, I will have days that will have maybe 7 hours 58 minutes, 8 hours 2 minutes. So as I say, this is a way to simplify the work of the people who need to check these records. No, this a way the roundings is one of the uses. There are more uses of the roundings that you may make. No? Okay, we will accept here. Make it a little bit smaller. So, oops, no, a little bit bigger. No, maybe to press on accept, and the time shift is saved, which is I save it with the number 5555. Should be. Okay, next. The next thing I want to show you is the. This I think is the good. Is the calendar. No, is the other thing that I absolutely need to configure before I can set up a correct time attendance solution for a company. What is a calendar? The calendar, well, before I said, okay, in a workday was the time, it's the days the employees need to come to work, the time from which time to which time to work. A calendar is in a year, which are the days that the employee needs to come to work. Doesn't come in a day that is registered as a weekday, as a work day, then this employee will have an absence in the records. So we have the possibility to configure multiple calendars, and as we will see later, each calendar that we configure and we assign to an employee, it will be copied to the employee as a private calendar. Now we will create a public calendar. Also, why do we need different calendars? Okay, maybe we have a company that some people work Monday to Friday, but maybe has other people that work weekends. And what is one day is a weekday for one, it is not for another one. Also, maybe we have several locations. We have maybe some we have a location in Madrid, another one in, I don't know, Dublin or London, whatever country, or Berlin or whatever, have different bank holidays. They have different bank holidays, so the calendar will be different. It is a very visual thing that we will see. We create a new one, select maybe a calendar with Madrid calendar. Okay, and then what we need to do is, well, we will need to select the days in which the employee needs to come to work and which times they don't. So what I'm going to do is to auto-generate the calendar. Here, okay, the calendar starts on the first Monday of the year, and what I want to do is I will select 5 week work days, laborable in Spanish, with no variance. Well, we're going to set a variant. So you can see another work day, but with variant number one Saturday, and one Sunday, which are days that the employee does not have to come to work. Also, here in the holidays, we can select the national holidays automatically, so we don't have to add them manually. Here I put Madrid just because it's easy, because I have here for Spain already. We will add national holidays for other countries too. Currently only have it from Spain. I can put Madrid, so I will have them automatically and apply. And automatically the holidays 1st of January, 6th of January, and Easter holidays that already have passed last week, May Day, everything, all the days. If not, if we don't have this opportunity, we will need to add them manually. Click on add, select the day, the calendar, and put the I don't know, France, 14th of July. Okay, select it as the National Day of France. Whatever. No? Then also we can here we can add a variant that is for a period of time. For example, as a summer work variant. No, it's a different time from July and August. No? So we can set or an event that we can select as for a specific time frame. This would be useful, for example, if a company closes during the summer, maybe it's got 15 days closed. No, we don't need to select every day manually. We say, okay, it starts 1st of August, the 15th of August, the company is closed. We would select it this day. Okay, then when we have everything configured, then we have click on accept, and as you see, the calendar is already created. This is as I said, it's a public calendar. Okay, as you can see, have a data is shown already, and I have the 1st of January, the holidays, and then I click on accept, and I already have the calendar created. The next thing that we need to well, as you see, well, I have already created the the week work days and the calendars. Now we can focus on creating already the employees. Here in the employees, and I have already several employees created. I'm going to create a new one. It will open a dialog for creating the employee. Okay. Here, as you see, we have code which will automatically will show the next number of the highest number I have. And I have here, well, mandatory that I need to have is the name. So we have Arturo, which is my name, the surname, the number, date of birth. These are all, as you might imagine, just for information. It is not needed. What we need is the department and the center, which I have already did, administration and center Madrid. But I can put a photo, which is already also information and information data. Here, who is the supervisor? This is for the, as I will show you later, this is for the workers page, no, of the software. Will set worker. This will be the employee that needs to accept my petitions. No? If I want to ask for a manual punch, then Armando, as I said, as you say here, when he enters the software, will be able to accept it or deny it. Doesn't want to do it, no? Or if I ask for a day off, then this person will have the possibility to accept my request or not. Also, administrators, which can be also linked to employees, have the possibility to do this for all the employees in the company. So you want to, if you don't want to, maybe it's not a big of a company, it's a small company. You don't want to be complicated with this supervisor thing. Just have an administrator, which I have the users. we can select the super. We don't need to put the supervisor, and the administrator will have the possibility to accept or deny all the requests of all the employees. Okay. Also here we have the workday, which we will put the one that we just created, if I can find it, because as I see here normal workday, and here if I need to select if it's the night shift or not. Here are the rates. These rates, which I have here, are for the payrolls functionality. Can be used, can be not. And here, down here, I have several other fields because I have the option in configuration to, to add personal fields that I don't have normally in this form. So here I have one that is a favorite theme. Options, but can be anything that you need. Also here I have the license plate of my car and several other options. Here, well, the rest of the data I have here is the profile. I want you to think as profiles as maybe types of employees. Okay, here I have the possibility to add also roundings. I have the possibility of configuring payrolls and some other things that we will show now. We can do this directly to the employee, or we can do it as a profile and then assign the profile to the employees I want. We can do it both ways. Well, maybe if it's only 10 employees, it's not that different, that big of a difference. Maybe in a company of 200 employees or more, then of course it's much easier to configure the profiles and then assign the profiles to the employees. Okay. Also, well, the roundings, which, as you see, can be configured via the workdays or in a profile. Here have the automatic events. An automatic event is, for example, maybe I know that from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the workers go to have lunch, and I don't want them, or maybe I don't have a device that has the possibility of selecting an event in the device. Then I can make it so, okay, from that time to that time, all the punches that are done in the device are this event. Okay, lunch, whatever. I can add for the day type from one time to another time. Then all the are no holiday, no lunch or whatever. Also here I have the possibility to when the employee doesn't come to work, to assign an absence or automatically assign an event. Okay, you can do that. We have the accrual balance, which I said, no, we can. This is a way where how we control the amount of time spent in each event. For example, I can set an accrual balance of the holidays, vacaciones in Spanish, of 23 occurrences annually. Then I can configure the event holidays to subtract from this accrual. So when an employee has a request of a day off, it will subtract one occurrence to this accrual, one occurrence to this accrual. No? And then when it's 23 times already selected, then it won't be allowed to select more days. This is a very interesting thing because it makes the company rely less on paperwork and everything. No? It makes it more easier. The employee goes to the website, asks for the day off, the supervisor or an administrator accepts it, that's it, it's done. The employee has the day off. We don't need to rely on paperwork and everything that, of course, each time it's much more difficult. You know? Much easier to do with things like this. Breaks. As I said, you can configure the breaks from in a workday and also in a profile. A break, what it really is an automatic event. So as I said before, this workday that I configured for this employee, it's a workday that goes from 9 to 6. but the worker needs to work 8 hours. Here, with this, if I select a break, the breaks, I have the configuration here to make it in a new tab, so I don't lose it. I'm going to see what I'm seeing. You will see that I have this work day that, okay, this one is breakfast and lunch, as it says here, 10 to 10:30, from 2 to 3. This way, the employee, without punching the device, these breaks will be automatically added to the reports without needing to punch. This is very useful, for example, in factories. Maybe if I have a factory of 2,000 people, if all the people need to punch the device for the break, and maybe when the last one punches, then will be time to go back to work. So with that functionality, it is very easy to create an automatic punch for all the employees at the same time if it's still. If it's not, you don't create a break, and that's it. And also here the payrolls, the same thing that I said before. The payrolls can be configured via workdays or also by profiles or directly in employee. Okay. Calendar. As you see here, I have the calendar. I'm going to assign this employee in the public calendar assigned to the one I created. Also here, I will have the possibility of changing one day. For example, maybe the employee asked for day 24, next Friday. Well, this Friday will be 17, as a holiday. So I would select the 7th, holiday, vacaciones, and apply changes to the selection. This will automatically make the software not to expect a punch on this day. This is how it's done. And if I have configured the accruals, as I showed before, then it will be subtracted, blah, 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 blah. And this is how it works. We'll show you later how this works, because it's much more, it's very useful when you access as an employee, not as an administrator, as we have. Also, we have the dirty time, which is the time that the employee needs to come to work each day. Can calculate automatically. Well, if I don't save the employee, of course, we don't have data. Status, when is the employee hired and when is dismissed. This makes it so the reports are not calculated when the employee is not working on the company, even if we have the employee registered. So, okay, I don't know in your country, but in Spain, excuse me. In Spain, silence. Sorry about that. In Spain, the data of the employee needs to be saved 4 years after. Well, so if I dismiss an employee now, the punches and the registering of the time work needs to be saved for 4 years. So we don't have to delete the employee, which we can, because in the employee list we can have a button to delete it. But if we delete it, then we will lose this data. We need to unregister this employee so that the data is not lost. Okay. Also here I have the what I have in the device, what the data, the biometric data that I have in the device. Here, as you see, I have the possibility of registering a fingerprint from GoTime Cloud itself. We can use two models of ZK fingerprint readers. We can use ZK 9500, 9500, 9500, yes, and an SLK20R. This device connected to the computer from which we are accessing the cloud is able to register the fingerprint and send it to the devices register. Okay, we can use this both types of fingerprint readers. Also, we have the possibility to add cards. So it's important that we know that we can add a card, the data of a card, the number, be sent to the device. And also you can set up a password to make a punch without the need of a of biometric data or a card. If we want, as you see, we can use it or not. If we don't need it, we don't want to, we don't set a password. That's also we have the possibility of the privilege that the employee has in the terminal. No? We have normal user and administrator. The normal user in the device will only be able to punch. That's it. And the administrator will be able to punch and to configure the device, change the configuration, add a new employee, delete an employee, etc. Also, something that I didn't say. If I create an employee in the terminal, and the terminal is registered in GoTime Cloud, it will be sent to GoTime Cloud. So that is a good thing to do. And also, another thing, maybe I don't have an SLK20R to register fingerprints. Don't matter, I have the device to register fingerprints. I can create the employee in GoTime Cloud, go to the device, access it with an administrator, and register the fingerprint. And this fingerprint will be sent to all of the rest of the devices that are registered in GoTime Cloud. Okay. And here we have notes and comments. Just to put data that we want to accept. I put some error in the configuration of automatic events. Okay. That's why I just created it, I didn't accept. And that's it. Okay, I want to make a petition with this employee. It will be accepted because it's I am an administrator, so my petitions are automatically accepted. I don't need no one to set it. So I set my petitions, and as you see, here is the employee already created. Okay. Well, more things in the administrator. Here I have I can set the history of the employees, which I will be able to see the punches done by the employees. Let me have a look if I find March, so I can show you. Okay, now I don't have anyone that have a punch that is registered. But let me make it one with my phone. I will show you how it appears when a punch is made. Show you is with the geolocation. Okay. One moment. So management. User one is the password. No, user. Well, great. Now, great. So now I have a punch. Well, I have here in punches. Also here, well, in history, I would see the punches done, and I have the information about the log of the punches, when the employee has come and has punched and everything, the data of the accruals, the value of the accrual balances and the payables. No? And here in punches is where I would be able to see the geolocation of the punch. Let's select this employee. And here, as you see, I have this small red which opens up the Google application that will show us where the punch has been done. Here is the list of the petitions. So you'll be able to see. All the ones are accepted. And here is where the devices are registered. It is important that we we need to, what is known here, I cannot register a device because it's a demo version and we don't want to people start registering so many devices and use it for time and attendance But what we can see is that we just what need to do is code, the description, and the serial number. And what is important is the device needs to point to our server, which we will give you the data that you need to input in the device, in the cloud server settings of the device. And we need to put the time, the time frame. No? Why is that important to put the time zone? The time zone of this is important because okay, server, as I said, is located in the Amazon web server, but maybe the terminals are all over the world, no? So uh, the cloud will send the correct time to the terminal, depending on this configuration. Another thing that is important and needs to be done, and hopefully it won't happen to you when you try to configure a terminal, is that we need to have when it is the terminal, any data that the terminal has would be replaced by the data of GoTime Cloud when the first connection happens. So first configure GoTime Cloud, configure the terminal, and then start punching in the device. Because if you do it the other way around, so people start punching the devices and register them, producing the devices, and then register them in GoTime Cloud or register the terminal, what's going to happen is that you're going to lose this data. Because if you don't have nothing in GoTime Cloud, then you send everything to the terminal, and if it's nothing, then it will send nothing. Okay, this is important. Here also, I can have the configuration to enable the daylight savings time in the terminal, so it changes automatically. This is important for the iClocks, not so much for the ZPad Plus, because ZPad Plus is Android based and has its own. It connects to an NTP server to check the data. In an iClock, it doesn't. It just needs to. It needs this configuration to know when it needs to change the time. Okay. Also important that we need to know is the closures. The system, what it does is that each day in the time that is configured in the preference, it has a time of scheduled closure. What is a scheduled closure? It's the moment of the day in which the punches are closed and the reports are calculated. So you have a punch at 9 o'clock, another at 6 o'clock, and you have a break of 1 hour. Until you do the closure, you would not have for that day, you would not have the report that says, okay, you worked 8 hours. Okay. We can make there's a scheduled closure with this one. Someone has configured, but usually I put the moment, and it closes the punches of the previous day always. Okay. Or we can make a manual closure. Why would we need a manual closure? Maybe we make a mistake configuring the timer attendance settings, and then we have errors in the countings. Then what we will do is to correct the configuration and make another closure to be able to correct the amount of work time in the reports of the day. Okay, and that's why we need the closure. Lastly, what we are going to show you is the powerful. We have a powerful reports function. As you see, well, here, we have a punches report, which is a list of punches, and also we have payrolls and time reports. This one is very interesting because not only we can show time report, but we have the possibility to add custom columns. So we can put in our report different times of accruals, balances, everything that we do, payrolls, and also formulas. A formula, we'll see here is very interesting because we can make, for example, a formula like we have here, real extras, which is, well, let me show you another one to show you what work time less subtract to duty time, which is also standard. So we have one column which is work, and the other one is standard hours, so duty time, how it's called in English. So that will show you the difference between what time did the employee needed to work and the actual time worked by the employee. If it's a positive value, then the employee has worked more than it should as extra time. If it's a negative value, then the contrary, the employee owes time to the company. The employee will owe time to the company. This is a very easy way to, if we don't need not too much, to see if the employees work as they should. And this formula can be added to the reports, and many more, many more, and we can think of many types of formulas. And of course, this will be very useful for the information. Okay. Also here, as you see, well, all the configuration I see, we can add more events, we add more fuels, types of break, data types, paper, and also we have a powerful import and export engine. This is useful, for example, if we want to add 500 employees and we already have a system which we have the data with employees, okay, we don't need to input them again, we just with an Excel file, CSV file, and add the columns that we have in the order that we need, okay, and whatever, or these are different needs, and then add a file that has this structure, and all the employees would be imported. We can also import punches and users. Okay? Users are the users of the system. Okay, to end this well, show impact, which I think is already, well, I've been talking for 1 hour already. I will show you how you can see the interface of an employee. No? So if I put user 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the user function, as you see here, I have my screen. I can also punch the system, and also I have, well, this one I suppose it has, someone has configured a lot of permissions that we can be configured, so I can only see my user. No, what I can say is, okay, we'll go to my calendar. I will put this day. I need to go to the doctor. Okay, apply changes to selection and accept. Okay, I'm going to make a petition. And as you see, if I go back, I think it was this employee now. So, yes. So if I go back to the employee, you will see it has the option to. Okay, I'm going to remove this permission, so we will see it better. This one has this. Again. 4. User management. Also, we can put as groups of users. Okay, it wasn't this user wasn't a boss group, so of course it has all the permissions, or nearly all of them. I'm going to make it so it cannot self-accept its own permission, and also I only want that he sees the data of its own. No? So I'm going to accept, and then I'm going back to the user, the screen of the user. Okay, this. You see, I only see my punches now. I don't see the punches of the other ones, and I already I can select the employee. Go straight to my employee, and I'm going to ask for another day off. Change to selection, and then accept. Okay, it's saved. Now, as you can see, if I go back to calendar, okay, I saved it, but still it doesn't appear. Why is that? Because the petition has not still been accepted. I need to go back to the supervisor of this employee or administrator, which will be the case. To petitions, which is pending the petition, and I have the option. Okay, you can see what is asking me. Okay, I'm going to once the 28th of April was the day of holiday. Okay, I'm going to accept it and approve the request. And that's it. That is more or less how the main functions of GoTime Cloud, how it's used, for what companies is good, and if you, I think now would be the time. If you have questions, of course I will answer them. I don't know if someone put in the chat window any questions already. Okay.
Arturo,
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say some words. First of all, thank you very much for the presentation, and thank you very much for coming and join us in that webinar. I hope it's going to be useful for your activities. Actually, I am from ZKTK Europe sales team, but main country, I am from Turkey. Main objective is increasing the sales in Turkey. So I have invited some distributors. Welcome again. And I would like to comment one thing very short. GoTime Cloud, it's a cloud-based time and attendance software, so completely in the cloud. That software allows you to not pay any infrastructure, or you don't need to pay, or customer doesn't need to pay any IT personnel. So they can avoid the cost of a server installation and the salary of a IT guy or someone who is dealing with that kind of stuff. So, and it is also data is very important in terms of GDPR in all European countries, as well as Turkey. So data is stored and secured in Amazon Web Servers. It is also an advantage for us for selling that product. And one more thing that I would like to add, which is the payment is yearly. We would like to make it monthly, but at the moment we are offering that service, that software as a monthly payment fee. It means that you are going to continue the relation with the customer. So there will be other needs or necessities of the customer. So you will be keep in touch with the customer, and you will be always there for offering another solution. For example, I don't know if the company needs another access control terminal or a metal detector or an X-ray. So you will be there because yearly payment makes you communicated all the time. So I would like to add only those comments. Thank you very much again. Arturo, I am giving you the word once again. So if there is any questions, what is the price for the TA Cloud? Alex, if you want, Arturo, I am going to answer, but I'm not going to give the answer of the price. Alex, please contact with the salesperson who is responsible of you.
This is the moment. Well, if now maybe you don't have questions, but of course you can, as I said, in this URL, demo.yourtimecheck.com, username admin, password 1234. You have it open to make your tests, check it, show it to your customers. Well, someone asking when for the French version. Well, it's in the works. I don't have the exact time frame for that, but we will find out. Also, if you contact your sales personnel, your sales representative of Securiteco Europe, will be able to give you information about the time frame in which the French version will be available. Then, thank you very much for coming again, and see you on following webinars. Bye.